If you got cheated on, what will it take for you to give the cheater a second chance? I was cheated on for 4 years. I demanded quite a bit for forgiveness, mostly because I felt like no one else would ever love me. I was not good enough for anyone better. He never was able to meet all those demands. But he never cheated again. All these years later, even though he never cheated again, he really tries his best. I wish I had walked away. In my experience, they show you what they are capable of when things get tough. Any stressful life event is likely going to result in them doing it again. If I get cheated on, I'm leaving. The only thing worse than being cheated on is letting it happen to you again. No, someone that cheats doesn't respect you. Give them a chance and the same scenario will happen again and again. Make them do some embarrassing thing in public to prove they love you and won't do it again. Then just dump them anyway. Fuck cheaters. Cheating is a choice, not a mistake. Mistakes are forgiven, choices are not. Amnesia. I've been there before. Gave the person a second chance and got my heart stomped on. Not sure there is any forgiveness for cheating. It comes down to trust. If you can't trust your partner, why be in a relationship? Why put in more effort into a failed relationship? It's not like they tripped, stripped, and slipped onto a dick on accident. I gave my first husband a second chance. And a third. And a fourth. Eventually, after 14 years of marriage, he left me for an AP, whom he married. Then 2 years later he wanted me back. I finally grew a backbone and realized how much better off I was with him gone. He was astonished. I always wondered if she bounced him out because he cheated on her. Second husband. I told him before we married if he cheated, there were no second chances. He laughed like crazy and said, "How could you imagine I'd want anyone else if I have you?" Best years of my life. Even the last 4, when I was his sole caretaker, were joyful because we were together. Cheaters should not ever get a second chance. Frankly, if they'll do it once, they'll just keep doing it. They just get more careful. Nothing. God himself could come down and tell me to give her another chance. I'd just tell him to F off. Staying with someone who cheated on you means to never be able to look at her the same, or to trust her, or to respect her. And what would be the benefit? Or the reason? Love? No, sorry, my love is reciprocal, and you showed me by cheating how little love you have for me. Cheaters don't deserve a second chance. If I was in a marriage, especially with kids, and she was the one who came forward and told me, instead of me finding out on my own, and if she showed a lot of remorse and was proactive about fixing the situation, and if the cheating event was not a prolonged relationship, then I would consider continuing the relationship, mainly for the sake of the kids. If I wasn't married though, it would be an immediate end to the relationship, sadly. Someone cheated on me, then bawled his eyes out, fell to the ground and clung to my legs, begging to be forgiven, would never do it again. Tears and snot everywhere. I said okay, set some boundaries, which included blocking the girl. He promised he'd do it. Next day, I asked him if he blocked her. Immediately he made excuses as to why he shouldn't have to block her, etc, etc. Turns out he already cheated again, online, with other girls. Yeah, never again. Excuses are lies, lies are lies, tears are lies. Who cheat? You gone. Finish. Nothing. They broke my trust in one of the worst ways. There'd be nothing that would make me trust them again. If you feel the need to cheat, be a fucking adult and break up with your partner first. Cheating is hard and fast line for me. You cross it and you're dead to me. No conversations, no second chances, no nothing. There's the door and get the fuck out of my life. Cheaters don't respect their partners and lack character. In today's world, send a fucking breakup text first. As shitty as that is, it's a lot less shitty than cheating. Cheaters are scum and rarely change. Honestly, been super lucky in my life to have never experienced it. But I make it very clear with partners that it's a black and white issue and the relationship ends on the spot if they cheat. I have 2 children with my partner of about 1,112 years. I have absolute faith she would never cheat on me. I wouldn't be with her if I didn't. That being said, if she did, I would probably try more for the kids than anything. But honestly, I don't know if I could ever trust her again. I'd probably end up thinking the worst every time she went out, we'd argue and we'd inevitably break up again. It took my now husband choosing me and our 2 littles, cutting all ties with the AP and changing his life. Going from working evenings to days so everyone is on the same page. It took me working on myself, as in giving myself something for me. It took lots of communication, lots of tears and anger. It took time. It took commitment. It took seeing change, not just hearing it. It's been a tough ride, but for where we are now, I wouldn't change a thing. I love my husband and have forgiven him for his mistakes. Now if he were to do this again, there would be no tolerance. I'd be done. But for now we work daily to have a healthy relationship for ourselves and for our kids. I never saw a healthy relationship. I'm glad I get to show one to my kids now. The suffering ends where gratitude begins. I decided to live in the fact he had an affair but decided to live in the day-to-day. I had to truly forgive him. Hard but worth it. I don't take a shit to put it back in my ass. I think most wouldn't give a second chance, but many do give. May it be because of children being involved, or our economically dependent, etc. It's a very complicated topic. In the end, we all shouldn't cheat and just be open, honest, and direct. When those serious thoughts come to mind, we all have imagination, so I'm not counting that. Frankly, I did it when I was a self-absorbed teenager, but never since then, and several decades have passed. I can't understand how people don't have a guilty conscience about, since it would heavily rest on my mind and shoulders. A traumatic brain injury that caused me to lose my memory. Cheating is not forgivable. It forever breaks the trust in the relationship. Incredibly good understanding of their reasons, and then monitoring those reasons for future with openness and communication to make sure they won't repeat falling into those same patterns without me knowing. For example, if they cheated because they were feeling left and alone, in future I want them to regularly evaluate and share with me how left and alone they feel before it ever comes to cheating. If it came to cheating, it means the communication failed, and it must improve significantly to have the trust rebuilt. Nope. She's out of my life forever. Absolutely nothing. A cheater will never get a second chance with me. If I found out my partner cheated, I'd break up on the spot and they'd never see me again the rest of their life. Or until after the divorce if we were married. And if I found out my partner had cheated in a past relationship, I'd break up with them on the spot as well. I believe some few cheaters can feel regret and not cheat again, but I would never be the person they get a chance to prove that with lol.